So I started drawing because I was inspired by the artists I saw on social media. Artists like Chemaine, who makes everything look so effortless with just pencil and paper. Sam Desart with their stunning, breathtaking illustrations that leave me in awe. And Likelihood Art, who creates these incredible, interesting characters that resonate with me. But when I picked up my pencil, all I felt was disappointment. Drawing after drawing, I'd copy the artists I admired. I'd try to mimic their lines. I'd follow their lessons step by step. But no matter what, my drawings were flat and lifeless. And any dream I had of becoming an artist was gone. That is until I understood these 4 tips that breathed life into my flat drawings. Let me explain. Let's look at a square for a second. It's flat, uninteresting, boring. Now, when I was a beginner artist, I felt stuck here. I would see incredible work from artists that inspired me, and I would try to recreate it, thinking that if I could just copy their lines, my drawings would look just like theirs. But here's the problem. I missed a critical step. You see, these artists are using something that I myself overlooked: form. Now let's go back to that square. You see, it doesn't matter how beautifully we draw inside that square or how many muscles or details we add. At the end of the day, it's still just a flat square. It's not until you turn that square into a cube that things start to feel real. The moment you stop thinking lines and start thinking in 3D and incorporating perspective, your drawings stop being flat and start feeling solid. So if you're like me and found yourself stuck trying to learn how to draw 3D shapes and form, then the thing that helped me was online classes and learning paths that can be found on Skillshare, which is a sponsor of this video. Now, Skillshare is an amazing platform with thousands of classes led by incredible professionals who teach illustration, design, productivity, photography, film, online business, and way more. And one of the classes I'm using to improve is Form and Space, 3D Drawing and Perspective by Brent Eviston. Listen, guys, drawing has changed my life. And if you're ready to turn your I want to learn to draw into I made it happen, then Skillshare could be the change you need. And the best part, you get all this for free if you access the link below. So the first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. When I first started drawing and thinking in 3D, I didn't fully grasp the problem it would create. Even while learning 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point perspectives, my drawing still looked boring. Everything was just important. What I hadn't realized was that the artists I admire weren't just drawing in perspective, they were choosing where to focus. The same way a camera might focus on one subject and lets the background blur. So the next tip is that when we draw, we need to decide what's most important. Is it the muscles, the silhouette, the eyes? We need to create a line hierarchy and adjust the line weights that give depth and guides the viewer's eyes to what matters most to the artist. Early on, my poses were not only flat, but they were also boring. My characters just stood there, lifeless. No matter the character I had in my imagination, they all stood the same way. But when you look at real life, nothing is static. There is always movement, there is always energy, even in stillness. One of the biggest shifts for me was learning how to use overlapping forms, showing limbs in action, showing a sense of motion. And so whenever possible, I like to show one shape in front of another, while using line weights to help showcase which shape is in front and which shape is in back. Now we've covered structure, shapes, perspective, and line weight. But there's one more important element that changed my approach to drawing. Now, even after I understood perspective, line weight, my drawing still felt stiff, almost robotic. Yes, the figures were moving, but they didn't feel natural. That's when I started studying artists like Michael Matesi and his force drawings, or Ryan Woodward and his gesture drawings. These artists created fluid, beautiful gestures that breathe life into their work. And even now, gesture drawing is a core part of my style. It's what has helped me bring a sense of movement and motion in my art. And if you want to learn the do's and don'ts of gesture drawing, I want you to check out this next video.